sucks. It sucks, but at the same time, there's understanding with it, and I'm not a big believer on. I feel like once we start dropping the ball against guys that we've won against and everything, I think it's time to step away. And I've gone from almost wrestling for a spot on this team last year to being injured now for 6 months, and then being blessed with twins and everything. And I just think a combination of things over the last couple of years has just led to it. But I think, I just think that I have a lot of respect for this sport and for the guys that do it. And if I'm not competing to my best, it's time to walk away. And I give nothing but credit, obviously to Colin and all these guys. And, I wish it was on a better note. I wish I'd be riding off in the sunset. But I guess technically I am. I have my kids, so I'm always going to sunset. Coach put it in perspective. Two things right there. I have twins. Two things right there show me there's bigger things in wrestling. So I'm, it's hard, but at the same time, I've been blessed with a great career. Like I said, I told someone else earlier, I look at my career as a rocking chair. When I'm old and decrepit, and I'm rocking in my rocking chair, can I look back on my life and have no regrets? And I can. I've had a career. Most of these people, even they're wrestling still today, could dream of. So I'm blessed with what I have. I've been blessed with what I've done. And I'm still blessed with what things I'm going to do in the future, and the things that I have in my life that are guaranteed. So I'm good for it. You got to cut that beard, dude.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You've battled so many just things in your life, like you said, injuries. You missed weight in 2021. I mean, you've had some things happen, come down the pipe at you, but you've battled back. You always, you make no excuse. The injury last year. How have you been able to try and battle for these things? And now you got, I got your kids in the video. This is probably kind of fitting, but how have you been able to be a father, a husband, and all the things you've been able to do?
Well, honestly, I think the biggest thing was my wife. Because after that, after the injury, I went to a really dark place. I won't shadow it. I was not a great, at that time, we didn't have kids, so I wasn't a great husband. I was sitting around, not doing much, just in a lot of hardship. And, I kind of give credit for her to help me get back on that horse. Hey, we got work to do, but she let me. She supported me. She didn't force anything down my throat or anything like that. She just supported me to get me back on my feet. I wasn't really talking to anybody and whatnot, and I had to do some digging for myself to be a better husband, person for myself, but a husband as well. I was just kind of in a rut, a very deep rut, and so without her, I don't know if I would even made it here. So I'm blessed to have a good one, that's for sure.
You did a video with Mark Bader where you were on the highway, and you talked about you were going to walk into the highway. You've been to dark places, and you've been open about it. Mm-hmm. How do you conquer these demons and continue to move forward to the next chapter of life?
I think I've gotten a lot better at looking to those who are around me and surrounding myself with people that are really genuinely wanting to help. Not for the sake of getting something out of you, not for the sake of getting you back on the mat, not for the sake of what your talents or whatnot, for the sake of you being you. Someone who can that normal person that walks down the street. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's been something huge for my friends, to my family, to my wife, everyone, that they just wanted J'den to be J'den. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think the reasoning behind why people are helping you and wanting to do the best for you is really important. And I think on top of that, accepting help when it's offered. I think that's a big thing. And I think it's a hard thing for everyone because we see it we view it as weakness nowadays sometimes. It's weak to say, hey, I need help, I need support. And so, just to get to that point, I think it's important for people to understand that it's not weakness, it's strength in numbers. And so, I'm blessed to the people who have been influential in my life to help me get to the places I've been and to continue to help me get to the places I'm going.
We saw you on crutches last year at Finals. Do you mind sharing what the injury was?
Yeah, so I fractured my ankle. I'm not good with anatomy. It's a fibula. I'm not good with it. But thank goodness I didn't have to get surgery, but I had to sit out in a boot for 6 months. And in that 6 months is where I was kind of in a big rut. That was what the hardest thing was for me, especially with the timing of everything. And I'd worked so hard to get to that point to wrestle Snyder again. And so, I wish I could have had another crack on it, but it just wasn't to be. And it's okay, it's all right. I think through this, even there'll be some hardship, but because I'm competitive and we all love to compete. So, but I think also at the same time, I don't regret my decision. I know it was the right one. And like I said, the respect I have for the guys, if I'm not to my caliber, then it's time to walk away.
After that press conference last year, you told me you were thinking about going into Greco after this cycle. Was it easy to give up on that idea?
I won't say never on that, but I definitely need to take time. I just think, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, this has been through a lot the last couple of years. I've always having to scrap and battle, and that stuff can wear on you a little bit, I think now it's time for me to enjoy life for what life is. And I think it's honestly, for me, it's a growth moment for sure, because, as a competitor, as a wrestler, you think about, it's hard to see things past wrestling sometimes. You're like, oh, if I walk away, what will people think this and that? And I didn't have that thought here. It's like, it's not about you guys. No offense. It's not about you guys. It's not about what you think. It's about what's best for me and what I believe is what's best. It's not even about my kids or my wife. I'm making a decision for myself, So I think that's the big thing for me. So I won't say never, but
He's the man.
But I definitely think that I need to take some time.
When did you make the decision?
I told KJ, so KJ came up to me afterward because I was, obviously he didn't know. I didn't tell anybody about it. I believe that a decision like that should be made with you yourself, me, myself, and I. And he asked me, don't make a decision off emotions. It's not emotional. I kind of been feeling this way for a moment. I've had it through the year a little bit. I've pushed through so many things and I've tried to, subside them, but I think right there when I see that, like I said, just not wrestling to your potential, I think it's time to let somebody else take up the mantle on that. So I don't have a problem with that. I understand it, and like I said, all kudos to Colin. Obviously, I know he's been waiting to pull that one over on me for a while. We've had some battles, so I hope for the best for him. And I don't know what's next for me, but you'll hear it when it's there. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, never say never on that.
When you think about your legacy, how do you want to be remembered in this sport?
Well, I hope everyone thought I was a nice guy. I guess I was a nice guy. I had fun. I competed to have fun. I don't know. I mean, I think my